Welcome to our webinar on Caterpillar Mining Performance Solutions. Thank you so much for joining us. We've reached the top of the hour and it's time to start our webinar. Thanks again for joining us. Before we dive in, just a few quick notes about some guidelines for attendees. You will be muted throughout the presentation, but you can still stay engaged throughout the webinar with our question and answer feature. Please feel free to type your questions into the Q&A box throughout the webinar. We will have a moderated question and answer session at the end. Please note that we are recording this presentation and a copy of the recording will be available following the event. Please feel free to email the presenter with any follow-up questions you may have. We will also have a Q&R code where we can follow up with you at the end of the presentation. All right, before we go further, just a quick note about safety during our virtual meeting. Wherever you're listening from, please know the following at your location. Please know what to do and where to go in the event of an emergency. Please also be aware of your surroundings, including any tripping hazards, as well as privacy and cybersecurity risks. As always, please remember to be safe, be present, win the right way, and practice cyber safety. All right, that's enough for me. I'm going to turn over the floor to our Commercial and Innovation Manager of Mining Performance Solutions, Annette Slyman. Annette?
Thank you, Laura. I really appreciate the introduction and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us as we talk about Caterpillar's Mining Performance Solutions team and our capabilities and how together partnering with the Caterpillar Dealer Network, we can engage with miners to address some of your challenges. So over the next 20 or 30 minutes or so, we'll leave plenty of time for questions at the end, as Laura discussed. We want to talk a little bit about the basics, the who, the what, the why of mining performance solutions, and then also how we will engage with you, our customers, in order to deliver the outcomes and the performance commitments through collaboration that you're looking for. So that'll take, as I said, about the next 20 to 30 minutes, and then we'll have time for some more questions and answers from the participants in this webinar. Before we get moving into the prepared material, this is the audience participation portion of the webinar. I want to gauge the audience and understand what you feel is the greatest challenge that you see as you are working at your site or in your business environment. What is the most difficult thing that you have? What's your most significant pain point that you have? And we've got 4 possible answers on the screen. It might be taking action on what the data is telling you. Perhaps you're getting, volumes of data, but knowing what to do, what action to take, and sorting through that, what is the most important action that you can take right now at this time is a challenge for you. Another challenge might be getting that operational data, and that is inclusive of both the equipment or asset data as well as other relevant site performance data. It could be things like operator behavior. It could be things like your environmental conditions, being dust or weather or water. Or it could be things like haul road and the physical conditions of your operation. Getting that data and getting it all collected in one spot can be a challenge. Perhaps the third answer there is also a challenge. Adopting and embedding processes and really best practices into your operational processes, whether that's shift change or whether that is a maintenance and repair technique and condition-based inspection routines, for instance. Embedding those into your operational processes can be a challenge. And then lastly, Perhaps you're having a challenge or experiencing pain around understanding what your equipment is doing every hour, every minute of every day in order to achieve the performance that you're expecting, that predictable performance, which we'll talk about a lot here at your mine site. So I understand that these are often interrelated, but pick one and tell us what your challenge is at your site. Excellent, excellent. It looks like the respondents here, 50% say gathering the right operational data. That's interesting. And including both the asset or the equipment data, as well as the overall site performance data, and combining that and getting visibility to that data. Well, that's very good, because we're certainly going to talk about those things as we talk about Caterpillar's mining performance solutions and what we have to offer for customers in combination with our dealer network. The questions before, the poll question before, and the answers was a little bit of a leading question, I'll be honest, because it really is indicative of what we hear from customers as we have engaged with them for the last, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Certainly, it's no secret that the mining industry is under more pressure and variation than ever before. There is also a tsunami of data. Many customers are drowning in data that it's available to customers, to OEMs, to our partners in the industry. The ability to consume this data and use it for business decisions has really never been more important. Customers tell us they want to leverage that data to help extend their equipment life. They want to benefit from all of the data that is available to them, not just at their site, which oftentimes customers have access to and can coagulate that and bring that to bear and have some insights. But they want to do that globally with comparative operations, comparative material types, and comparative equipment types. They want to understand those insights and how it can improve their ability to make informed business decisions. They want to partner that data with best practices, and regardless of how many sites they have or where they are located, they want a consistent process that they can scale across their operations. And ultimately, they would love a single point of contact or a team of people that can provide those scalable, consistent options and help them reduce the risk, help you reduce the risk in your business so that they have more time to focus on what they're about, moving the right material at the right place, at the right time, with the right quality, of course, safely and at the lowest cost per ton. That's what we hear from customers, and certainly I think that is borne out in some of the survey responses that we just received. So what's great about this is I'm pleased to announce and share with you that the Caterpillar Mining Performance Solutions team, along with the capabilities of our worldwide CAT dealer, are best positioned to address some of those challenges that we have talked about and those needs that we discussed on the previous slide. You'll see here on the screen what we in the team call the performance pyramid. And you'll see at the top of the performance pyramid that it's really about driving predictability. Having the assurance that, as I just said, that right material from the right place to the right place at the right time, at the right material quality. Of course, we want to do that all safely, and we want to do that at the lowest cost per ton, because that is what drives the efficiencies in your business. All of that sounds really easy, especially when you say it quickly, right? But we know that it is difficult and challenging to get all of those elements working in harmony together in order to achieve that predictable performance. It can certainly be a challenge. As we've talked with customers over the last many years, there's really two sides or two pillars of performance that help drive that predictable performance. It's either on the left-hand side, operations excellence, which is really measured by efficiency or productivity, and that is typically measured in something like tons per operating hour, or perhaps overall equipment effectiveness, OEE. Or it can be on the right-hand side, where the other pillar of performance is around maintenance excellence. And this is really about assuring that the assets that you have, the equipment that you have, are available and ready to work, ready to perform the function that you need them to do in order to achieve that operations excellence. Those two things, most customers are looking to achieve one or the other, or ideally both. That's why it's a pyramid, because you're driving to that synchronistic equation where you get that predictable performance that you're looking for. Both of those things, whether they're operations excellence or maintenance excellence, is really underpinned by data. And it's not just enough to have the data accessible and visible, but turning that data into actionable information, providing insights on that data to drive either operations or maintenance excellence is really critical to achieving the pinnacle of performance and sustaining that. The bottom line, Mining Performance Solutions, along with our dealers, are committed to helping customers achieve that predictable performance. So we talked about a little bit of the what. Maybe I'll explain a little bit about Mining Performance Solutions and the team that we have available to work with you. It is certainly built from a rich history, and in order to unlock the greater value that we think is available to customers and help achieve their profitable results that they're looking for, we can leverage some of that experience and history that we have as an OEM. We certainly have great knowledge of our machines and equipment and the applications and environment that they work in through our product design and engineering prowess. We couple that with our software and technology development capabilities and our global data access and data analytics and machine learning and artificial intelligence capabilities. All of those things are some of the things that you may be aware of as an OEM. What you may not be aware of is that we couple all of that, I'll call it more traditional experience, along with the expertise of folks that have been schooled and have the dirty boots experience, if you will, of working at a mine site. Many of the team of Caterpillar Mining Performance Solutions folks have walked a mile or a kilometer in your shoes. They have been customers. They've been the drill and blast engineer. They've been the reliability engineer. They've worked in continuous improvement. They have been the shift supervisor or the mine controller. So they understand what really happens in a mining environment, and they marry that with the engineering and technology and data analytics expertise that the more traditional side of Caterpillar brings to the equation. All of that together, working in collaboration and a commitment to you as the customer to design a solution and a set of capabilities that works for you and commit to sustaining those improvements. That's the capabilities of the Caterpillar Mining Performance Solutions team, but that is only part of the equation. Certainly we don't do it alone, and we couple and partner with our unmatched global Caterpillar dealer network and the expertise that they bring to the equation to position ourselves to offer robust solutions. In addition to that product and technology and analytical expertise that I talked about within the Caterpillar team, our dealers have equipment and application and industry knowledge that they bring to bear, along with OEM trained technicians, parts and maintenance and repair specialists, and a local presence that has been there for years and a deep understanding of the local operational conditions. Together, they bring that complementary skill set to bear to partner with you, our customers, to achieve that performance pyramid on the right-hand side of the screen. So we've talked a little bit about what the need is, and we've talked about the Caterpillar Mining Performance Solutions team alongside our dealer network and our dealer teams. So let's talk about a little bit now what it is that we offer working collaboratively with you. And it's pretty simple for us. We break it down into 3 categories: services that are really powered by data, solutions that address the need, and we manage the results. And we do that by measuring the results on a consistent performance. You'll see here on the screen that the major graphic is a spectrum, and that is by design. We recognize that customer challenges and needs, and therefore what we bring to bear varies by site, by fleet, by material type, by geographic location. It could even be by machine, or that might be at the same site depending upon the application of the machine, or perhaps even down to the component level of a machine. Our approach as a team is bespoke and customized to address your specific needs, nothing more and nothing less. It is a menu from which we can choose from to address and pick the points that are going to add value to your business. We have solutions that can add customer value regardless of their size, the complexity, and the comfort with either data or technology. On the lower left-hand side of the screen there, you'll see data is information. It can be, going back to our poll question that we talked about, where getting access and visibility to the various data types, whether it be asset or equipment data, whether it be site operational data, whether it be operator data, any of those kinds of things. It can be as simple, which is not always as simple as it sounds, is getting access and visibility to that data and then really turning that data into information through the use of insights and analytics. We can design a customer-specific solution that commits to addressing the pain points or the challenges that you have, and measures that through a performance agreement, an outcome-based performance agreement. It could be, again, something as simple as data is information. It could be applying productivity services or asset health services, again, into an outcome-based agreement. Ultimately, it can be a more comprehensive solution that might include something like access to the equipment through cash flow or asset ownership, and that would include something like overall asset management. Again, the point here is that the complexity and what we include in a solution is meant to address your specific needs and your pain points. So while we talked about that spectrum and you showed that, over time and performance and complexity, let's unpack that a little bit. I talked about productivity services or asset health services, and let's return to the performance pyramid that we referenced at the beginning of our session and our time together. On the left-hand side is, again, going back to that operations excellence. That really is enabled by what we determine or what we call productivity services. And you're really looking to improve your productivity or your efficiency in your operation. In doing so, most customers we found are really trying to pull on one or more of three levers. And it's really about quantity, cost, and quality. And ideally, they're trying to find a balanced equation against all of those elements in order to achieve productivity and efficiency. Let me give you an example of what one of these services might include. So something like payload management, where you're looking to achieve the desired targeted payload and at all of the time. You're trying to squeeze that curve and make sure that you're hitting the target every time. That's an example of quantity. Or perhaps quality, mine plan compliance. How do you know that you are achieving the desired blend of the material types so that you can take it from the right in situ location and deliver it at the right time to the processing plant, to the crusher, so that you can achieve the material quality blend that you need in order to deliver it to your customers, which we understand is how you get paid. All of those things are examples of productivity services of where we can apply equipment, technology, expertise, and data in order to achieve the either quality, cost, or quantity that you need in your operational environment. That's the operations side of the equation. On the other side is the maintenance excellence side of the equation, which is equally as important. This is enabled by what we determine as, or what we call, asset health services. And here again, most customers we've found, and what they tell us is that they're trying to pull one of three levers, or ultimately, again, find that balanced equation between these three elements, those being time, cost, and quality. And it could be in this example, or in an example of asset health services, we might look at applying a condition-based maintenance strategy in order to improve the availability of your equipment, while also extending perhaps component lives or equipment life at the optimal cost. We both know that as you execute a maintenance strategy, that it's not only about knowing when to intervene and when to do something to affect the maintenance or repair of a piece of equipment. It's also about how that is done and the quality of that repair. We have capabilities where we can work with you to ensure and coach and guide your technicians and your resources to make sure that the quality of the repair meets a standard that will ensure the overall health and life cycle of that piece of equipment. Whether it is productivity services, which underpin operations excellence, or asset health services, which underpin maintenance excellence, together those things really drive that predictable performance. Again, data underpins all of those things and really making that data actionable. What we bring to bear as a mining performance solutions team, in combination with our dealer network, is this capability that is designed specifically to your situation to drive the outcomes that you're looking for. How do we do that? It's really through collaborative commitment. This is our process for how we engage with customers. And as you can tell on the slide here, it's pretty simple, actually. There's not a lot on this slide. And it's different than what you might expect from an OEM. This is not a product forward approach. We do not come in with any preconceived notions about where we can help you. Our first process, our first step in our process is to engage and listen. We listen with you and understand what you describe to us as the challenges that you are experiencing in your operation. We listen to what you're telling us, and also what the symptoms or the clues that might tell us what other challenges you might be experiencing in your operation. At times, that can mean that we might go out and gather some data or take a bit of an observational assessment, do some initial baselining of data analysis, because all of that helps us get a window into your world of what's really going on at your site, in your business, in your operation. All of that is our discovery process that we work together with you to find the pain points and see where you're experiencing challenges or inefficiencies or high cost in your business. Once we do that, we sit down collaboratively and we design an action plan to address those challenges, those pain points that you have found. We document that, we determine roles and responsibilities, we determine how we will engage, and we document the outcomes that we would expect to achieve when we apply our people, process, technology to the problem at hand. And then when we do that, once we agree on what that action plan is and the outcomes that we expect to achieve, we go about delivering that collaboratively ourselves, you as our customers, and our dealers as well, all working together to execute that and grow value together. Delivering that customer value through a collaborative commitment we know works. When we do that, it creates the win-win-win for all parties that we are looking for. Frankly, our success, that of Cat Mining Performance Solutions, as well as that of our Cat dealers, is inherently and inextricably tied to your success. When you win, we win. And that is what we are after. Here's some examples and some general statistics of where we have seen this collaborative commitment and this approach, this solution problem-solving approach, really work for our customers. And there's a number of, statistics and ranges here, and they range from both the operational excellence side of the equation in the performance pyramid, as well as the maintenance excellence side of the performance pyramid. Whether it's 10% up to a 10% increase in payload, so that's really ensuring that you're getting more material out there so that you can get paid based upon the efficiency and the quantity of material that you're moving. Or perhaps it is an efficiency metric and a productivity metric, up to a 15% increase in the ton EFH per operating hour. Again, getting more efficient and eliminating cost out of your business. Or perhaps, you're extending the component lives. These are examples of where we have done that, we've seen as much as a 25% increase in component lives as we have worked with customers over time. And then the amount of planned or predictable work that you can bring to the equation, a 10 or a 15% increase in scheduled work, planned work is something that these are the kinds of results we've been able to achieve with a variety of customer engagements over the last 5 to 10 years in a variety of applications, from coal to gold to iron ore, in different locations around the world, whether that's Australia or South Africa or the oil sands in the northern Canada region. So those were some general numbers where we've been able to achieve results that deliver to our customers' bottom line. Here's an example of a specific. I wanted to end on some real live kind of specifics and share with you what we've been able to do for a couple of customers. I've got a maintenance excellence example, which is here on the screen. This customer is located in North America, and they're a coal customer. And they originally came to us a few years ago, and they were experiencing a high volume of unplanned maintenance. They were not getting the predictable performance that they were looking for. And we know, and the customer knew, that unplanned maintenance is up to as much as 3 times more costly than what planned maintenance is after. They were well falling short of their maintenance excellence goal. And so we listened with them, we visited with them and understood what their challenge was. And what we did is we designed our action plan around a few things. Firstly, they did not have visibility, and they were kind of in the dark, if you will, about what their equipment was really, how it was performing, and not leveraging the power of data. So we got them connected. We provided visibility into both their operations environment as well as their equipment as well. We coupled that data with insights and analytics, but we applied surgically a condition-based maintenance strategy for their load and haul fleet, helping them know when to intervene, when to pull a piece of equipment in, or when it's okay to let it remain in the operational environment, because it's going to be the best balance of the time, cost, and quality equation. In addition, our local CAT dealer partnered with the customer to help coach and guide the maintenance and repair processes on how the repairs were being conducted, how the planned maintenance routines, the PM routines, were being done in order to raise the quality level of the repair. All of that yielded over a 12-month period a rather significant savings for this customer. It was about $375,000, $400,000 saving in just parts and labor cost avoidance. So real dollars that translated immediately to the bottom line for this customer. And I might add that this was only across 13 pieces of equipment that we applied this recipe, if you will, to. While they saw some direct cost benefit to their bottom line, they also saw a requisite performance improvement as well. One of the most notable things that you'll see in the middle of the slide there is that 9% increase in planned maintenance. Again, we know that planned maintenance is a lot more cost-effective than unplanned maintenance. And they saw a really significant increase in mean time between stoppage. So how often that piece of equipment is stopping and needing to have some sort of intervention. all of that also translated into a 2% physical availability increase. They were already experiencing enough availability at this site in order to achieve their mine plan. So that was not as critical of a driver for this customer, but certainly the cost drivers and the quality of what they were experiencing were, and delivered some real results for this customer. That's a maintenance example. My next example is on the operational side of the equation and achieving operational excellence. We understand that certainly, operations and moving the material into the supply chain and into your customers is how miners get paid. This example is a payload example, and you'll see the graphs on the screen, and we engaged with this customer in the Americas. This is an Americas customer, and it is a gold miner. And over the course of about 12 months, we embarked with them on a journey to improve their payload compliance and ensure that they were maximizing the amount of material that they were putting into their equipment each and every time. So the yellow bars on the bell curve in the background represent various points of that 12-month journey of where they were. The blue bars are the end result. And you will see that at different points as we measured this across a 12-month journey, you can see that those two curves, those payload compliance, really become very, very tight. And that's the graph over on the right. What they're actually doing, what the plan target was in the fourth quarter, you can see how that yellow bell curve comes into match the overall planned and desired target payload distribution. How did we do that? That's this slide here, which explains that a little bit further. We started by engaging with the customer with one of what we call a fleet manager on the Caterpillar Mining Performance Solutions team. We made an initial site visit and observations, gathered some data, and made some initial recommendations about what they should do. And then we engaged with our dealer as well, and the dealer really brought to bear some training opportunities for the operators, and we peeled back the data and got very specific with it as well to break it down by crew and even by operator to understand really what can we bring to bear and how can we offer coaching and guidance and training in order to ensure that we're achieving the compliance that we want in payload. And we measured it all along the way. At the end, here's what you see, that yellow bar, that sustained payload gains in the fourth quarter of this 12-month engagement. And you can see how the consistent, trend line of bringing that payload up to compliance, up to what we want that bell curve to look like occurred, and you get closer and closer over the 12-month journey through the application of data analytics, operator training and behavior, and the right expertise and coaching and guidance to achieve the outcomes that the customer needed. That's just a couple of examples of where we've seen real results of how we can improve our customers' performance by aligning our expertise, data, technology, analytics, product performance knowledge, all to work with our customers and our dealers to bring about that predictable and profitable performance. So that is the gist, if you will, of the material that I wanted to share with you. I'll just summarize here quickly that we are focused on the evolving and ever-changing mining landscape and the needs that our customers are telling us about. We've heard from a lot of you over the last many years, and we've worked to bring to bear the capability, the expertise that Caterpillar, combined with that of our dealer network, can leverage, and working with you to collaborate and deliver outcomes and sign up for outcomes and agreements and engagements that give you the confidence that you're looking for from Team Caterpillar and our dealers to improve your Caterpillar experience. We measure that on a consistent basis and work collaboratively with you to do so. I've said a lot and used a lot of words to do so. At the bottom is our website, where we do have a little bit more information, and you can drill into this about what we do and how we do it. There's some additional information there. It's on cat.com /MPS, which stands for Mining Performance Solutions. And I would encourage you to go out there and take a peek around and engage with us. There's also a way that you can contact us through our dealer network in order to figure out and engage with our team so that we can help you address the challenges that you might be experiencing. So that concludes my prepared material, and as I promised, I hope that I've left plenty of time for questions that you might have been putting in the chat and doing. So for now, I will turn it over to Laura, and I believe she has been moderating and monitoring the questions as they come in, and I'll be happy to answer some of those.
Great. Thank you so much, Annette, for presenting, and thank you everyone for tuning in and submitting your questions and giving us your attention. We really appreciate it. So the first question that we had that came in said, thank you for your presentation. Can you talk more about how Mining Performance Solutions is different than what's been done before by Caterpillar?
Yeah, I think what is different than what you may have experienced in the past, or than what you may have experienced in the past or seen from the past from Caterpillar, is really our engagement model. As I talked about our engagement process, it really is about listening and understanding where the customer is at and meeting the customer where they are in their journey to that predictable performance. I always think of it working at an OEM, and from an OEM perspective, we're a manufacturing company, and every time that I go and visit a mine site and look at the mining environment, it really is a manufacturing environment that is in the earth, if you will. And so we're trying to help our customers, bring about some of those same concepts and practices that are in the manufacturing environment, that predictable performance, to their environment. And figuring out where the pain points, the challenges are, because they're unique. Whether you're a surface mine, whether you're an underground mine, whether you're a gold miner, whether you are a bauxite miner, those tend to be different challenges. While you're all trying to move material at the lowest cost per ton, efficiently, safely, effectively, where you're experiencing the pain is different. And so our engagement model is different than what we have typically done so in the past. As I said before, it's not a product forward. We don't start with, we have a piece of equipment, or we have a technology, or we have a product to apply. We start with listening first, and then work collaboratively with you to say, what are the things that you think you need help on? And let's apply those in combination with our Caterpillar dealer network as well. So I would say that is really one element of what is different. And then I would say that a significant change, if you will, or a thing that is different about the Mining Performance Solutions team is that we commit to an outcome with you. We design that with you, and then we chart and create an action plan, an agreement that says we will achieve together, we will achieve these outcomes. And when we do that, that creates that win-win-win for all parties.
Great question. Great answer, Annette. Thank you. The other question that we had is about what an MPS customer looks like. Can you talk more about what an ideal customer looks like for Mining Performance Solutions? Is there a certain size or material or location? What does that look like?
Yeah, that's a great question. We have found, per my answer to my previous question, we have found that the challenges, the situation, the pain points are unique to each customer, depending upon a number of variables. But it doesn't mean that you have to be a certain size. It doesn't mean that you have to have a load haul fleet of 50 pieces of equipment or larger. Or a certain material type. We only do this in iron ore, or we only do this with metals mines, or any of those kinds of things. It really is that I would say the most distinguishing characteristic of what an ideal customer looks like for Mining Performance Solutions is a willingness to collaborate and to partner with us and our Caterpillar dealer network. That's probably the most important single distinguishing characteristic that leads to success. We have found that when there is that desire and willingness to participate with us, and Caterpillar and our dealers with you as our customer, when we bring all that expertise, that capability, that experience to the table, and as equal partners, as equal engagement, that is what we can leverage and bring about the success that we're looking for, and that you're looking for. So that, to me, is probably the single most distinguishing characteristic of what makes an ideal customer for Cat Mining Performance Solutions. Not so much size or material type or location, but really that willingness to partner and collaborate.
Excellent. Thank you, Annette. We've had a couple questions come in about what types of equipment and technology we work with. So does Mining Performance Solutions just work with customers who have Cat equipment? Do we work with mixed fleets? Do we work with different data sources?
Great question. The answer is that, in short, the answer is we are equipment agnostic and technology agnostic and data agnostic. Now, I will tell you that certainly as the OEM that has designed and built the Caterpillar equipment, we have inherent knowledge and significant knowledge about Caterpillar equipment and how to really drive the best performance out of that. That's also coupled with the data understanding and needs around Caterpillar equipment. We also, obviously, having built the Caterpillar MindStar suite of technologies and capabilities and solutions, we also obviously understand how to optimize that as well. But that doesn't mean that we are limited to that. As I spoke about earlier, we have a number of people on our team that have walked a mile in our customers' shoes or walked a kilometer in our customers' shoes and have used a variety of technologies and equipment. And so we have a pretty fairly robust understanding of the capabilities of equipment that is used in the mining environment, as well as other systems, technologies, fleet management systems, data sources, and how to analyze and provide insights and recommendations on the data and the equipment performance to yield the results that you're looking for. Short answer, again, we are equipment agnostic, data agnostic, and technology agnostic.
Great. Thank you, Annette. All right. The next question we have, what sets your team, the Mining Performance Solutions team, apart from other consulting groups? Why should someone go with Caterpillar to have them help their site?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And if it's me and I'm looking at that, the one thing that I think is different about Team Caterpillar, and by Team Caterpillar, I mean Caterpillar and our world-class dealer network, is that we are really committed to the long-term success. We've been there for 95 years, and we're going to be there for the next almost 100 years, the next 95 years. We are really committed to achieving the outcomes, the performance, the win for the customer. We want you to have a good experience with Caterpillar. We are about the Caterpillar experience. Now, of course, we bring certain unique characteristics to bear in order to improve your Caterpillar experience. We have unmatched OEM product and technical knowledge. We have the vertical integration of having made the product and designed it accordingly. We can leverage the power of global data and our global data analytics. And we know our equipment very well. We know our operational environment very well. Our dealers have unmatched territory and local operating condition knowledge and relationships with you at site and with our customers that bring to bear all of that. That, to me, is why you choose Caterpillar. It is the combination of unique knowledge, but also our sustained commitment to walk with you and to be with you on your journey to help make you more successful. As I said before, your success is our success.
Great. Thank you, Annette. All right, another question that we had, this one came up while we were talking about the ideal customer. Do Mining Performance Solutions customers tend to have just one project, like short-term, or is it continuous projects that are ongoing? How does Mining Performance Solutions fit into those two different approaches?
Great question. We can do either or, is the answer to that question. Our ideal engagement is really, and I just referenced it, as I was answering the other question, we see the greatest impact and the greatest results when we have a sustained engagement. You're trying to create predictability. You're trying to create something that you can reliably count on, and a process around that each and every time, so that each and every time you do something, that you can count on what the outcome is going to be. When we engage in a relatively short-term project, it's harder to achieve those gains and really sustain those gains. And so while we certainly can do that to raise your level of performance in a particular area, what we prefer to do is get to an acceptable level of performance and then continue to work with you on how to sustain that. And that just means that the life of the agreement, or the life of our engagement, if you will, has different characteristics and performance metrics as we go through it. So, the first 3 or 4 months might be really focused on improving the performance and getting to an acceptable level. And then we would shift into how we sustain that and how we measure that to really embed that into your operational environment.
Great. Thank you, Annette. I know we're pretty close to the end of this hour, so I think we have time for just one more question. So we've had a lot of questions come in, so thank you everyone for submitting those. The question we're going to close with today, you got another thank you. Thanks for your presentation. You covered a lot of material. If there's one thing you want us to walk away understanding, can you tell us what the top value, or maybe 2 or 3 values, that customers get from Mining Performance Solutions?
Sure. I would probably boil it down into the slide that we talked about, productivity services or asset health services, that underpin operations excellence or maintenance excellence. And you're really trying to pull on a few levers: quantity, cost, quality; time, cost, quality. Those are the things, the metrics that you're really trying to affect and improve. And Caterpillar and the Mining Performance Solutions team has a lot of capability and expertise and knowledge and, product and technology that we can bring to bear to help affect and pull on those levers harder. And so bringing that to bear and exposing our customers to that is something that I think is unique and is value added, and is hopefully, helps our customers improve their profitability and their bottom line. And the way that we do that, our engagement model, working with our dealers to engage with you as our customers, to bring all of that to bear collaboratively with the customer, I think is, value added. We want to help you get to your endpoint faster. It really is about velocity to value for you as our customers, and to ultimately improve your experience with Team Caterpillar. That to me is the unique value that Caterpillar adds.
Awesome. Thank you, Annette. Good question. All of our questions are great. I'm going to move on to the next slide. We're going to end our Q&A session, but the conversation's still open. If you have any further questions, you can just take out your phone and open your photo, your camera app, and you can scan that QR code, and it'll open up a little form where we can get your information and follow up with any questions that you may have. Also, if you'd like a copy of the presentation, it's available here, but we can also send it to you if you fill out this form. If you have any trouble filling out that form, we do have available in the one of the toolboxes here in the webinar. You can also email Annette and and we can follow up with you there. Annette's email as well as my email are available in the speaker bios here in this webinar. So I'll leave this up just for a few more seconds to give you a chance to scan. But thank you so much for tuning in and giving us your time and your attention and your questions today. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everyone, for participating in our webinar, and have a great and, of course, safe day. Thank you.